Alright, I want us to answer the big question that many people ask. How long does it take to master a skill enough to get paid? In other words, how long can you learn a skill and start making money from it? Now listen, most people don't make money from their skills, not because they are slow learners, and definitely not because they are dumb. The real reason they aren't making money from their skill is because they think they have to be perfect before they can use the skill to start generating income. But here is the truth. You don't need to be a master or an expert before you can start getting paid. You just need to be good enough to solve real problems. And that's the key thing I've been emphasizing on this channel. Solve real problems for real people. You see, people wake up and go to bed every day with issues, and they want people who can solve these problems for them. So the point is, you must know when you are good enough to start solving those problems, not when you've perfected the skill. That's why in this video, I want us to break down how long it will take you to get to that level when you will start using your skill to solve problems, and how you can fast track the process. If you are new here, you're welcome. I'm Goodman, and on this channel, I empower you to gain control and take responsibility in 4 key areas: wealth, health, relationship, and peace of mind. So if this sounds like something you want to learn, please stick around. So let's get down to it. How long does it really take to start making money with a skill? My sincere answer is you can start getting paid within 30 to 90 days of focused practice. Now, by focused practice, here is what I mean. You're using the skill actively. You're practicing intentionally with the skill. You're not a jack of all trades and master of none. So, if you can be that focused, you do not need 10,000 hours. You only need direction and consistency. If you are focused and practicing with direction, you will notice something. You become a problem solver very fast. Now, let me tell you a short story that will further explain what I'm talking about. Many years ago, I remember pestering my mom that I could drive. I was barely 15. My dad was always away, and it was just my siblings and my mom. So one day, my mom and I went to check a piece of virgin land somewhere a bit far from home. So after inspecting it, we were heading back home when out of nowhere, my mom decided to challenge my claim that I could drive. So she stopped the car and said, "Since you keep disturbing me that you can drive, this is the time to try your luck." As if to say, this is the time to try your luck or hold your peace forever. I became jittery all of a sudden because I wasn't expecting the challenge. You see, I'd been practicing driving secretly inside our compound. Having watched my dad drive for years, I was just copying what I saw my dad do. So that day, I braved my mom's challenge and jumped into the driver's seat. Now, that was my first time. I wasn't perfect. Guess what? I moved the car. I drove. Of course, the area wasn't crowded, so there were no incoming cars, but I drove confidently. When we approached the busy area, my mom asked me to stop. She couldn't believe what I just did, and I will never forget what my mom said that day. So this is what you've been doing when no one is at home. Now, here was what happened a few days later. Some visitors came to see my mom, and when she was done with the visitors, guess what my mom asked me to do? To help her drive the visitors back home. What? Now, I was scared because apart from that day that my mom challenged me to drive, I'd never driven the car outside of our compound, let alone in busy areas. And there was this crazy busy junction in my hometown that I had to cross while taking these visitors back home. I dreaded that junction. If you could drive past it, then you were a champion. So to say the least, I was so afraid. But somehow, with shaking hands and sweaty palms, I crossed the junction. And from that day, guess what? My mom started sending me on driving errands. I was just 15. I had no formal driving lessons, no coach by my side, no months of practice. That was what I did. I learned to drive by observing, practicing in a small space, and staying consistent. Even though our compound was tiny, with just enough space to move the car back and forth a few inches, that little practice made a big difference. In a nutshell, what made this possible was direction. I focused on essentials, on how to start the car, the clutch and brake controls, and gear shifting. Consistency. I practiced over and over again within a tight space. So, if I could start driving at 15 without formal lessons, how much more learning a skill that's way less risky? So now let's dive in and discuss the strategies you can use to fast track learning a skill so that you can start earning with it within a short period. Like I mentioned earlier, You can start learning a skill today and start using that skill to solve real problems for people within 30 to 90 days. This means you can get paid for a skill, provided you are focused, consistent, and practicing with direction. You'll be amazed at how much you can grow when you stop waiting for perfection and start acting when you are good enough. You see, how fast you can get clients to work with and start earning money depends on your approach. You should know this. If you practice to solve a problem and not just learning for learning's sake, I guarantee you will learn faster, you will iterate faster, and you will start making money faster. Got that? In a nutshell, the moment you start learning a skill, start practicing solving problems with it. Don't just learn for the fun of it. I know people who start learning something just to impress others. They just want to show off. A case in point, I know people who were motivated to learn how to drive just because they saw their friends or rivals driving and they wanted to prove a point. But their goal wasn't to solve a problem. Now, wait a minute. Imagine someone else learning how to drive because they want to drive for Uber and start earning a living from it. Perhaps somebody promised them a car if they could learn to drive. Such a person's attitude will be different from someone who is just trying to impress others, right? For someone learning to drive as a way to start a business, they will take it seriously, they will stay focused, and they wouldn't care about showing off. Their mind will be on solving a real problem, earning money, and securing a livelihood. The same thing applies when it comes to learning a skill. If you practice to solve real problems for people, not just learn randomly, you will grow faster. People will even be amazed at how you are getting paid for a skill you just started learning within a short period. Meanwhile, some others would have been learning for years with nothing to show because their motives are wrong. Now, for instance, let's say you are learning graphic design. You realize your church always outsources flyers and poster designs to outsiders. Now you could step up and tell them, don't worry, I'll design the flyers for free. In that case, you started using that skill to solve real problems. And that way you'll be getting real feedback from your church people. Maybe someone in church offers some constructive criticism. The next time you can make the text more visible. Or someone can say, try using a plainer background in your designs. Those little criticisms and corrections are worth gold. Why? Because they push you to get better and faster. So you are not just learning randomly, you are solving specific problems. The same thing applies to writing. Let's say you want to become a social media manager. You need to start writing posts every day. Now wait a minute, even if you didn't know how to write before, it doesn't matter. Once you start learning, you immediately start practicing. Okay, let me give you some simple steps that you can start with. Open a social media account, write daily posts. Look for the posts of experts that you admire, then begin to model their posts. Check whatever is working for experts in your field and begin to do the same. Now you must avoid the nasty mistake people make. For instance, don't post today, then disappear for 2 weeks. Nobody grows like that. If you want to master a skill faster, daily consistency is the secret. When I first registered on Fiverr, even though I'd been a graphic artist and writer for many years, I didn't go there just to make money. I went there to put myself to the test. I wanted to see if clients from the Western countries will appreciate my skills the way my local clients do. That was my goal. Money was secondary. And guess what? When I started getting real reviews from people I had never met, it boosted my confidence. For instance, a client in the United Kingdom once left me this review. This guy will go above and beyond to deliver excellent work. We requested him to design our church calendar, and we are happy with the job he did for us. The sweet part is that the client even left me a tip, almost the same amount as the cost of the job. He was so satisfied that he paid me double for the work I did. That's the same thing that you need to do. If you are learning a skill, practice using it every single day. Apply it. Solve real problems, even if you are doing it for free at first. If you do that, within 30 to 90 days, you will start seeing results. Now, just like my mom suddenly challenged me to see if I could drive, clients will come and say, okay, you say you're a graphic artist, then design such and such for us. Or you claim you publish, can you publish this book for us? You see, even if there is a part of the job you are not fully confident in, you can quickly seek help from experts. And once you deliver the first job and then the second, you will gain confidence fast. Now let's get practical at this point. Let me give you an example of a skill that you can learn fast and start monetizing. I'm talking about a skill you can learn and monetize within 30 to 90 days. Let's use Instagram post design. You can learn it within 2 weeks. You can create some samples. You can open a new Instagram account. You can start posting your samples on the account. In a nutshell, you can start showing your work publicly within 1 week. After a few weeks, when you've built up some decent designs and posted consistently, you can start pitching some small business owners. Now wait a minute, but before you even attempt looking for clients, here's what you need to do first. Use the skill to build your home page first. In a recent video, I talked about using your skills, the skills you are learning, to start building your own project before you start looking for clients. If you've not watched that video, check the thread above my head somewhere here. Then you can bookmark that video so that you can watch it later. The idea is to become your own first client. Design for yourself, post for yourself, grow your platform, get feedback, iterate, adjust, and gain confidence. Then you can start pitching clients. As you improve, you can reach out to people you look up to and ask them to give you honest and anonymous feedback on your designs. Now, once you feel your confidence building up, start pitching to get clients you can work for. You can start by reaching out to small businesses. Those are projects you can start executing within 30 to 45 days of focused learning, and that's if you're serious. Now, what you shouldn't do is sit down and start thinking that you have to wait for 2 years before you can start earning money. That mindset is what you find in academic or formal learning, where you spend donkey years in school just to obtain a certificate, which doesn't even guarantee a job. That mindset doesn't apply here. You can start learning a skill and monetize it within 30 to 90 days. Of course, yes, some skills may take longer to master if you are aiming for high-end clients, but for most practical skills, if your goal is to solve problems, not to impress people, you can start making money a lot faster than you think. Like I mentioned earlier, once you start learning the skill and gaining some confidence, start by pitching to small business owners. At this stage, you are not chasing premium clients. You are just looking for people who can pay small amounts while you test and sharpen your skills. That's why I always recommend beginners start on Fiverr, Upwork, or other good freelance platforms. It's a great place to test your skills and get real-world experience. Or you can as well start using your skills to solve problems locally, and you'll discover that within 30 to 45 days, you can be earning your first $100 to $200. You'll be surprised that clients are ready to pay you for solving problems, even at your stage of learning. All right, now I want us to proceed to strategy number 3 of learning a skill and monetizing it very fast, and that is you must practice in public to speed up your growth. If you want to speed up your growth, the secret is to practice in public. That means sharing what you are learning as you are learning it. That's how you build your credibility faster, not by waiting until you feel ready. So, post your work, post your progress. Don't ever be scared of what people will say. Don't be scared of their comments. Here is something you should know. Both bad and good comments are your feedback tools. I often love to advise beginners that they should treat both bad and good comments the same way. What do I mean? Never take offense at bad comments, and never become swollen-headed at good comments either, because that's where you will learn what to adjust, what to improve, and how to move forward. So, in essence, start posting your work, document your journey, and little by little, you will start gaining confidence. So when more eyeballs see your work and they like it, it becomes easier for you to start approaching people and offer your services. So get online and start solving small problems. Now let's say you can write articles. You can start by posting short form articles or simple stories on Instagram or X, formerly called Twitter. Then watch how people react to your post. You'll find out that people will start engaging with you seriously, and that shows that they love your story and they love your style. That way, you're already practicing in public and measuring real reactions. Now, I prefer that method because it's faster than working quietly in secret and waiting till you perfect it. Just like Martin Luther King Jr. said, it's better to live ready than to get ready. Because most of the time when we're about getting ready, it's already too late. So I dare you to keep posting and keep sharing your journey. Now, you'll be shocked that most people online may not even be as good as you, but because they dare to show up and share publicly, they gain the confidence to keep getting better. What's more, when you are learning a skill, always create samples, post behind-the-scenes content, and share valuable tips. For example, if you are designing a flyer, ensure that you post the designs online. If it's social media management that you are learning, show how you organize posts or build pages. And if you're learning how to bake, record and post yourself practicing. So the essence is to show the journey. Even if it's driving that you are learning, you can post your journey, such as today I'm practicing steering control. And the following day, you can say, today I'm mastering gear shifting. If it's graphic design that you're learning, post your early designs online. Tell people, this is what I learned today while practicing how to balance text and images. And when people see you improving little by little, some of them will start asking, can you design something like this for me too? Now, you might think you're still a learner, but to someone else, you're already far ahead, and they'll be willing to pay you to help them. This is how to attract clients while you are still improving your skills. You do that by creating publicly. Just like I was bold to tell my mom I could drive, even though I'd not driven outside before. If I hadn't told my mom that day that I could drive, perhaps it would have taken me much longer to start driving. So, in essence, you need to put yourself out there. Start posting your practice work. Let people see what you are doing. So if you want to become a social media manager, find a few people around you, maybe friends and family or small business owners, and offer to manage their pages for free or small fees. For instance, you can help them grow from 200 followers to 500 followers, from 10 likes to 1,000 likes, and so on. As you do that publicly, others will begin to notice and they will want to hire you. So the secret is document your journey publicly. In essence, people will start reaching out to you, and just like that, you're in business. You become a problem solver. Now, let me give you some practical example. Let me take you to my computer. As a social media manager, you can design a carousel post. Just like this one, you can post 1 or 2 sample carousel designs every week. Keep it consistent for 3 weeks. By week 4, you'll be surprised that someone might DM you. How much do you charge for this kind of design? Why? Because they saw your work and they loved it. The same applies if you're learning to bake or whatever skill you are learning. Once you start practicing in public, people will start noticing and they will start reaching out to you. Let's say every time you learn a new baking technique, you practice it, record it, and post it online. You show the process from mixing the dough to bringing the cake out of the oven. Now, someone watching you might have a birthday party coming up. They see your post and fall in love with your work. Even though you feel you're still a learner, they don't care. They just like the result they see. They will message you, please, can you bake something like this for me? How much will it cost? Now, at that point, never make the mistake of telling anybody, sorry, I'm still learning. No, be confident to reply them and give them a price. If you do not know about pricing yet, you can consult with someone that is an expert to advise you about pricing to your customers. You can say, well, if you want this kind of birthday cake, it will cost you this amount. If you want this kind of wedding cake, it will cost you such and such amount. That's exactly how you'll be getting your clients. I remember many years ago when I was teaching someone graphic design. He was so surprised because just about a few weeks into his learning, some final year medical students approached him and asked if he could design their yearbook. He rushed to me because he didn't know what to tell them. Why? Because he was still learning and he hadn't perfected his craft. So I told him to go back and accept to render that service for them. Why? Because I assured him I would be assisting him to do the design work. Long and short of the story, he got the contract that year. That tells you that you do not have to be an expert before you can start getting jobs. The secret is because you've already moved from learning in private to creating value in public. And that's what matters. Even if you get your first client and it might feel like you might not be able to deliver perfectly, never you go to the client to tell them you can't do the job. Just like I assured the person I was teaching graphic design to go back to the client to tell them you could do the job. So instead, you quickly reach out to an expert to guide you through it. While they fix 1 or 2 things, make sure you watch properly. That way, you will deliver your first job and then the second, the third, and you start gaining confidence. Then you keep posting more. By the time you do 2 or 3 jobs like that, while you are still technically learning, I tell you, the sky won't even be your limit anymore. Alright, let's proceed to strategy number 4 of learning a skill and monetizing it very fast. That is, skills that you can learn and monetize between 30 to 90 days. And the 4th strategy is to know that mastery begins the moment you start getting paid. Let me remind you that you don't truly grow until you've started solving problems for real people. So, if you want to have confidence that you've mastered a skill, the best way to do it is to use that skill to start solving problems. Until you begin to do that, what you have is just a hobby, not a business that will pay you. For instance, a pilot who has never flown any plane but merely brags is just making noise. What makes a pilot highly rated is the number of flights they've flown. In essence, you can't become a captain until you've flown certain distance. So you need to confront real problems with your skills. Also, a soldier never becomes a veteran or a general until he has fought and won many battles. And this doesn't matter if the skill you are learning is the one with a short learning curve. It doesn't matter if you're just starting. Your target from day one should should be to solve problems. Identify specific problems that people within your industry are facing and solve those problems with your skills. For instance, supposing you are helping new moms or young mothers to balance motherhood with starting a small business. You can start by posting tips on how new moms can manage their time, feed their babies, and still have side hustles. You start small, you test it locally, then you post it online. Before you know it, other young moms will start engaging with your content. They will start seeing you as someone who understands their problems, someone that can help them. Even though you are just a few steps ahead, you're already a problem solver to them. And when you're solving problems people care about, they won't even hesitate to pay you. Now, the moment you start getting paid, you grow faster. You know why? Because people will start telling you how to do it better, and that's feedback. Then you work faster because it feels important, and that's urgency. Then you start trying harder because you know how important it is now to work harder, and that's having skin in the game. When someone pays you, you know you must deliver. You will also get honest feedback. That's why I believe in reviews. They're a big deal online. One way people determine whether a product or service is good is through reviews and feedback. So always try to get feedback. Even if you work for free at first, ask for sincere feedback. That feedback will either build your confidence or show you areas you need to improve. And you know what? When people begin to pay you for the services you render to them, they don't joke with their feedback. They're going to give you honest feedback. I remember reading someone's Fiverr page once. A client had left a brutal review. If you don't want to regret it, don't give this person your job. That kind of feedback can wreck someone's Fiverr career. So when people pay you, you sit up. You don't play, you work with urgency. You focus on pleasing the client. That's the only way you know you are growing indeed. Even when I'm building something for myself, let's say a personal website, if I don't shift my mindset, I know the project can drag on forever because I know if it's mine, I'll just relax. No pressure, nobody's waiting. But I always reset my mind. Even though I'm working on my project, I reset my mind to think like I'm working for a client who needs their job within 10 days. That simple mental shift accelerates my growth. And let me be sincere with you, that's the mindset you should adopt if you're learning any skill. Also, don't wait till you feel perfect. Start, then you can improve along the way. Even to this day, I'm still improving, especially with skills like book publishing that I've been practicing for years. Always a new level to reach. There's always something better that you can do. However, if you keep waiting to feel ready, you will delay your growth and you will delay your opportunities. Start now and get better as you go. Each time I publish a book for a client, I see it as an opportunity to do it better as I did on the last one or any of the previous ones. That means there's always room for growth. You keep learning as you move forward. Even when you work for people who are hard to please, you can impress them if you are diligent, not if you are perfect. And if people who are hard to please can give you good reviews, that's when you are confident that you can use your skill anywhere in the world. But before you get to that level, don't wait until you are perfect. Be open to criticism. Don't be afraid to get criticism from people that this job is not good enough. And instead of getting defensive, go back and make adjustments and go back and improve. Just make sure you are using your skill and growing along the way. For instance, you can land a $300 website design today, and while you are designing it, while you're on the job, you'll start seeing clearly where your gaps are. In a nutshell, it's while you are doing the real project that you will realize what you know, what you don't know, and what you need to fix. And once you fix those gaps, you move. And by the time you are doing your third or fourth project, you will have confidence to charge $1,000. Why? Because you've learned on the job. In essence, what I've shared with you today boils down to answering one big question. How long will it take me to start getting paid for a new skill? And my answer remains the same. Anywhere from 30 to 90 days. Provided you are determined to start practicing with purpose, avoid endless studying without action, and when you begin solving real problems right away. Now, if you want to know how to pick the right skill, how to practice the right way, and how to package the skill to land your first high-paying client, then you need to check out my free masterclass, the Legacy Wealth Roadmap Masterclass. In this masterclass, you will learn what it takes to escape the rat race and build legacy wealth. If this sounds like something you need, click the link in the video description below to watch the free masterclass. Let's turn your skill into real bankable income. Now, if you are being plagued by whether you should go and learn more skills or new skills so that you can make more money, please don't do that yet until you watch this video that is popping up on your screen right now. Click on that video and I'll see you there, and bye for now.